Right, we're back, and this is the final leg of the video. So, this is all set. Now, I will just say that it's probably better to use fresh clay every time you cottle up. That's what you call this business of putting boards round your mould. It's called cottling. I've done that one. Because the fresh clay will seal better. If it's a bit dried up, you've more of a tendency to leak. Got a slight leak here. Right, the boards are coming off. Now we need to get this mould off the board because it won't just lift off. Oh, it does just lift off. If it's stuck, you can flex the board a little bit over the edge of the table like this, and it usually pops it off. This one's not stuck. So, these are just the flashing at the corners. We'll just break that off. If I turn it over to the side, you can see the seam. Just cleaning my knife, palette knife. Scraper. Right, I'm just scraping this back to reveal the seam even more. I'll do that on each side. It's a thin layer of plaster just run down there. Okay, we'll take that off, and again scrape it back to reveal the seam all the way along. Do that on all four sides. There's the top of it. Where those clay. I'm going to scrape that back as well. Should be another half of this somewhere. There we go. It's under there. That clay can come out. Right. So when you've revealed the seam on all sides, take this wedge here. It's just a piece of perspex that's been sanded to a point, and that goes in the crack, and I hit it with a rubber mallet just gently, and you see it's already parting there. See the crack? I'm going to turn it over and do it on the other side. I should be able to separate the two halves. Okay, a little bit more. This has been setting for more than half an hour because it's been lunch. There. Now we have two halves of the mould. The registration marks. A bit of clay there from the top. So the only thing remaining is to get the model out of the mould. Oh, it lifts out quite nice. Pretty well. So, I think I'll leave any bits of clay just to dry up and I can dust them out. So what we do is a wee bit shaving off there. Okay. What I'm going to do is assemble it and put it to dry. So we'll put it back together. And see if we can find some of these elastics that fit. I don't need that one, that should do. Then we put it in the drying cabinet. It can go there for 2 or 3 days depending what it's set at to dry. Don't leave it too long or it will end up just cracked. You see here, advice for moulds. In this drying cabinet, they do not need more than a few days to dry. Any longer, they'll begin to get brittle and may crack. So that's your mould. And when it's dry, you can cast slip into it. If you want to cast wax into it, don't dry it out. You need to soak it. But I'll show you that in a different video. So now I will just show you a couple of things. This is my cow pats of plaster. See how easily they crack off the rubber mat. They can go into the plaster bucket, as can any other scrap plaster. Your clay goes for recycling. This is the little mould that I had before. I would need to scrape and soap it, put natches in it first as well, and then this is the second half of the little pore hole going on, just to show you that. And finally, take all your boards and scrape them and clean them and put them to dry. Thank you very much. Bye.